Hi, my name is Victoria Wilson. I have been a birth doula for the last, it's hard to believe, 8 years since 2015. And today I would love to show you my quick little tip and hack for how I keep track of client due dates, their call windows. I've also used this to keep in touch with any other backup doulas, as well as doulas on my team when I ran an agency. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how I do it. Okay, so I have two tricks to show you. Number one is totally free. You can sign up for a free Gmail account if you don't have one already. I'm pretty sure most of us do. And using Google Calendar, I like how you can set up a new calendar. So I'm going to use this calendar that I have selected just to show you how I set it up. But let me show you if you were to add a calendar to your Google Calendars, it's really easy. You just hit that plus button, hit create a new calendar, and then you're off to the races. You can create the calendar, you can share this with others. You'll see I have a backup calendar, for example, in my feed, and that is the calendar that I've shared with other doulas who back me up. We all put our due dates in there, and our call windows, so we see when everybody's working. That has been very helpful. You can also use it, as I said, for if you work with an agency or something like that. It has just been a huge lifesaver. And I'll show you what I do with putting in their due dates. When someone books me, the first thing I do is I will create an event. And then, so let's say, Susie's, I don't know, Pratt. I'm just making up a name. And I have a standardized format that I'll use. It's something like this, estimated due date, we'll say it's oh gosh, we'll have her due September 15th. Then I usually put in where they're giving birth. So like, hospital name, and then who the provider is, Dr. Jones or whatnot. So for every single entry I have, I will be putting this in there: client name, estimated due date, hospital name, and provider. This is because I'll show you how I copy it to my backup calendars, so whoever's backing me up can kind of know where clients are giving birth as well. That's helpful. The next thing you want to do is to click in here the time. You want to make this an all day event, and I'll show you why. Because what I do is I go in, let's say she's due September 15th. We had her, that's the due date. I do my call windows 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. So I'll count up 1, 2 weeks, start the call window then count down 2 weeks, 1, 2, and finish the call window. It's all day. You can change color if you want. Some people like that in red. Some people might like it in a color that makes sense for your business. We'll say purple for right now. Then I hit save. So what's great about this is when I go into the month, I can see who all was due. Let's say I had someone else due, Joe. I don't even know, guys. Making out due dates, you know, home in and if it's a home birth, I'll usually put what city it's in. So like home, big city, and then provider, same thing. So this due date's the 22nd. Again, click into the time, make an all day event. I go counting back 2 weeks and then counting forward 2 weeks. That brings us into October for her. There you go. You can also choose, what calendar it goes on. I want these on my doula calendar that we're playing with right now. If I were to take it off, it would be off, and I'm not going to show you my real calendar since that has some confidential information. But I like that I can click into the month and see who am I on call for, how long, down into October, I'm just on call for one person. Up in September, it will be two. This has just been a very, very helpful method for me. You also can copy events. So if I click in to edit the event, I can copy it to another calendar. So I might want to copy this to my backup schedule. That means it would show up to my other backup doulas. I might want to copy it to my general practice schedule. So other doulas in my agency see it. However that works for you, or what you might want it on your personal calendar so your partner can see. You just hit copy and it will show up there as well. Another thing that I'll do is when that client births, I just delete them from my calendar, and then I can see who all I'm on call for still. And it's very satisfying to be able to take people off your call schedule. And this is just a great free way to have your calendar, track your due dates, track basic information, share with backups. And that's what I've used from the beginning of my practice. I also have a second tip that does use a paid service. All right, so I walked you through the free version, which was using Google Calendar with your Gmail account. Now I'm going to show you the paid version, which is through Honeybook. That is the client management system I use, and I've used for well over 2 years now. I love it. It's absolutely fabulous. It has kept me so organized, so sane, and it's helped me look really professional to clients. You can use the link in the description if you would like a discount for trying Honeybook yourself. And I hope you will. I'm going to show you how I use it to track due dates right now. So I am adding a client. This is our test client. You can see I'll use myself as a test client. And normally you're going to be getting a new record when somebody fills out your contact form. I have also a video on that. I'll link in the description. You can see how I take people from brand new inquiry to client, and that's going to show you more in the back end of Honeybook. But let's just say they filled out your contact form, and they're in your system now. I will, clean up their name, and then here's how Honeybook helps me track due dates. You can make their project date your due date, which is what I typically do. And then this just helps me keep them organized in my records. And then I can also, when I go into a full view, let me show you. Let's say I had a couple clients here. I can organize them by recent activity. I can organize them by project date. If there were multiple here, it would all show. If you happen to have multiple doulas on your team, you can assign them to different team members. So right now I see who's assigned to me, but let's say I wanted to assign this to somebody else. I would just go into the file and click whichever team member that is going to be taking care of that client. Let's say Allie, for example. And if I go back, it will show she's on it as well. That's very handy. You might want to use the project details, project type, to say who's it for. Right now, I have an in-person doula service and a virtual birth planning service. So that's how I distinguish the two. You could also say, it's the doula for this person on my team, or it's their postpartum client versus a birth doula client. That's really helpful, but I definitely organize it by date. And again, I can see that whole project view. I can see everyone organized by date. So also, Honeybook has a great calendar feature as well. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't use it as much as I could or should. They have a scheduler. You can send a link for people to book with you through Honeybook. I still use Calendly, so that's how I'm booking people. But you'll see they can keep your Calendly meetings on your calendar as well. I'm not showing you the full view because I don't want you to see client information. But here you'll see I've got, let's say my test person was due October 11th. When I go into the Honeybook calendar, I'll see everyone's dates. It also shows you so this is a real client I have due in November, and it's showing me that 2 weeks before her due date, that third payment of her installments is due. So I like that I can track when the payments are due. I can track when people are due. And similarly, you could use this to create a new meeting if you wanted to, let's say, do the call window, right? So same system, I go up 2 weeks and down 2 weeks, and we can say Victoria call window all day. This could be personal, I guess. You can connect it to a project. So we might connect this to myself. And then look at that. It shows you the whole call window for this one client. So again, that's the paid way you might organize your call window. And if I had multiple people on my team with clients, they would all show up here as well. Again, I don't want to show you personal client information, but it's going to keep everything here, which is really handy. But that's it. That's the video on 2 quick and easy ways that I keep track of my clients' due dates and call windows. Gave you a free option using Google Calendar and a paid option using Honeybook. You can find the link for both of those resources in the description for this video, as well as an additional video I recorded showing you how I bring clients into my business from inquiry to signing that contract and setting up our first interviews. So if this was helpful, please hit the subscribe button. Definitely check out those links and leave a comment. Tell me what other questions I can answer for you. Tell me what you're going through in your doula business. My whole purpose at Motherwell is to help you just have little tips and tricks to make supporting clients easier. Our goal here is for doulas to stop saving their clients and to start supporting them. There's a huge difference. We can go deep into that concept together, and I'm really happy to help you along the way. So thanks for watching and supporting. Have a good day, guys.